Good morning on a day 3. We are here at Janai Elfna Square, which is quite dead because it's about 8 in the morning, but today we got Atlas Mountains tour planned, so we are going towards the Argana Cafe. That's the meter point, and then from there we're gonna head straight to the tour. So this video is gonna be all about Atlas Mountains. Here we are at our first stop at this village where we're gonna have the camel ride. Look at my outfit. I'm like a local. So now we're probably gonna have this camel ride before heading towards the Atlas Mountains for a hike, and most likely we may have the, like drinks in there where the people are there having the tea or something. So everyone's getting prepared, and then get on a camel. Let's try that thing. So we did this ride for about 10 minutes. Started just there, went all the way there, all the way back, and just here. We're about to finish this camel ride, and tell you what, I already get used to it. It's getting quite comfortable. Getting no hands, obviously. I don't know, for first time, I think I've mastered this. I was expecting that to be like in a desert, not like just on a rocky area and cars passing by, so this kind of gives you the touristy vibes, but what I expecting was like to go in the middle of the desert, no cars, nothing, just camels and camel ride. But who knows, maybe tomorrow on my other tour that I booked, that's what we're gonna get tomorrow. But for now, it is what it is. So we're just going there back to the village, and apparently we are getting served a tea, so I'm kind of thirsty, so I'm looking forward to that.
We give him some rest, almost like 10 minutes, 15 minutes, and then we start like mixing it. We start like mix tea with sugar. We don't use, to mix them together, we don't use a spoon. We start pour it inside of glass, then we take it back to the teapot. We do this operation almost like 10 times, just like to mix tea with sugar and to test tea, like this. So first we have the bubbles. Which means it is good. When you see the bubbles, which means it is good. Without, it's not good. And we mix it like this. So we start like pour it inside of glass, then we take it back to the teapot, and we do this operation almost, as they say, almost like 10 times.
So we came to this Berber market, which happens once a week, and that's where they sell all the stuff. The people from across the villages comes around, from the mountains and everything. That's why it's only happening once a year. And yeah, we're coming here as a group to buy stuff. But realistically, this place is not only as a market, but people actually come here to socialize, to meet each other, and at the same time sell stuff. Sadly enough, like once a year in this market, people come here to like look for wife and husband. That happens on 21st, 22nd, 23rd September. That's what the guide told us. But today is, I think it's 17th September, so that will be happening next week. So we're not gonna witness this, but realistically, this is a Berber market that's happening once a week. So looks like just a normal car boat from UK to me. Let's be honest. Once here we were walking into the market, we could start noticing these like sizzling skewers that are grilling meat on an open flame, and as you probably see in the video, there's so much of a smoke you can like barely breathe and barely can see through at some of the places. I did not get like the full montage of how bad smoke was, but you could smell all these delicious meats, and you know, when people are making freshly prepared meat over the open flames, it's just such an amazing part of the Moroccan street food culture. And as we keep passing by the this part we were heading towards the spices bit. Well, what's fascinated me about these markets is how much they bring people together. It's not like just a place for shopping, it's a social hub. I've noticed while we were walking that loads of people just stopped at the middle of the like path, gave the handshakes and just start talking about, you know, what's been happening during the last week. So that was like a really big thing. It's not like only what the Berber poet told us. As here we approached the spices area, and the aroma here was just like so amazing. You could like smell almost everything. You could see like there's paprika, there's cumin, the couscous. All this area is full of like loads of flavors. I was just so fascinated by all this market. As we continue here, our journey, we could see loads of mountains in a landscape, and then we had to stop at another, like a mountainy area where you still can see the like these buildings at the very end. And this is where like the earthquake happened, and there was loads of damaged buildings. That's why we stopped here. So we just had to stop here at the place where they make oils and all that kind of stuff. That's like all the touristy, boring stuff. But what was interesting is they make these houses just from like basically anything they can find on the field. So if you can find like clay, you build it from clay. You can find like a wood, you use wood for your building. You know, the wheat, you can use all of that. And basically what they say, it costs them nothing to build these houses, because as soon as you buy the land, you basically find all the materials on the land and build them. So yeah, we're not gonna talk about all the boring stuff, how they make the oils and everything. So we are here in Atlas Mountains doing the hike, but really, this can be counted as a hike? That's like a walk on a standard path. It's not even hard, even though the description was saying like you need to have moderate level of fitness. For me, 97 kilos, there's no moderate level, there's like beginner level. And now I'm not even struggling. Literally 5 minutes into the walk, we had a break just there, which kind of makes it all trip much easier. And funny enough, like they have these trees in here, they're separated by like borders from the rocks. That's where the locals, they plant like the olives, the apples, and all that kind of stuff. If they own the land, if they don't, then obviously they can make agreement with the locals where, you know, they plant the trees and then they share all the fruits and stuff. So far, that's what we see. And then we're crossing the bridge. Apparently, we are here at 1,400 meters high. And, you know, in Marrakech was 39 degrees. I think here it's probably about 26 right now. So hopefully we get some better views. But here's the view of a river, if you can call it river. I would say stream. But yeah, let's keep walking and exploring. I bet we're going somewhere to the villages there that way. As we're walking, we've got these tables here at the waterfall in the shore, and I think you can actually have some food here. It's like a sort of a restaurant setup, but I was expecting this to be a proper hike, but this is a tourist hike, so it's not really a hike. So yeah, kind of disappointed there. I know a camera does any judgment, but there, somebody's burning something.
How many times can you zoom in?
Okay. It's a lot of fruit. Some apples, pomegranates. They're living life here. That's the local life here. I don't know all these buildings. I can imagine if there's an earthquake, obviously all of it goes down. I hear some kids learning. Salam, salam. So at this point, we are just heading towards our guide's house to have some lunch and food. That's pretty much all you can see. Just road path like this. And the local houses and local Ferrari. That's how they call these donkeys. That's like primary transport that they have in here. But yeah, it's very steep. I can imagine people walking these bike paths every single day. Look at the views. The views are magical. Right, let's begin. Oops. As here we came across this sign that says make sure you hit the like and subscribe button, otherwise you get 10 years of bad luck. So as here we are passing mountains, I thought I'll just record a quick glimpse of what can you expect on these mountainy roads just before we're heading back all the way to Marrakech, and that was about 2 hours 25. But realistically the camera does no judgment, because some of these, like, you know, these junk turns, they're like extremely narrow, and the drop is extremely high. Like, imagine you are like 1,600 meters above sea level. And that's end of this today video, because we have finished our tour. That's why we got dropped off just off the Jal El Fna square. Square, yeah. Now the idea is that we are gonna hide some headset and some money in somewhere in Marrakech. But you can see it's not the greatest weather, so we may need to come the other day.